sometimes the most righteous person in the story, is the one everyone calls shameful. In the dusty hills of ancient Canaan, a young widow named Tamar was about to orchestrate one of the Bible's most shocking confrontations, one that would expose hypocrisy, demand justice, and ultimately secure her place in the lineage of kings. This isn't just another biblical tale. It's a masterclass in courage, cunning, and the lengths one woman would go to claim what was rightfully hers. Tamar's story begins with hope turned to heartbreak. She had married Er, the eldest son of Judah, one of Jacob's 12 sons and a patriarch of Israel. But Er died young, leaving Tamar childless and vulnerable. According to ancient law, Er's brother Onan was supposed to marry her and provide children to carry on his brother's name and inheritance. Onan took Tamar as his wife but refused to give her children, selfishly preventing her from having the security and honor that motherhood would bring. His actions were so wicked that God struck him down too. 2 husbands dead, and Tamar remained childless, her future hanging by a thread. Judah promised her his youngest son, Shelah, when he came of age. "Wait for him," Judah told her. "Return to your father's house as a widow." So Tamar waited, and waited, and waited. Years passed. Shelah grew up, married, and had children of his own. Judah had lied to her, fearing that his last son would also die if he married this twice-widowed woman. In that patriarchal society, Tamar faced a devastating reality. No husband, no children, no inheritance, no protection, and no future. She had been cast aside, forgotten, and betrayed by the very family that owed her everything. But Tamar wasn't the type of woman to fade quietly into obscurity. When Tamar heard that Judah's wife had died and he was traveling to Timnah for sheep shearing, she saw her opportunity. She removed her widow's clothing, covered her face with a veil, and positioned herself by the road where Judah would pass. Disguised as a prostitute, she waited. Judah, traveling alone and still mourning his wife, saw the veiled woman and approached her. Not recognizing his daughter-in-law, he propositioned her. Tamar agreed, but demanded payment. Judah had no money with him, so she asked for his seal, cord, and staff as security, his personal identification, like an ancient credit card and driver's license combined. 3 months later, word reached Judah that his daughter-in-law Tamar was pregnant. In his rage and self-righteousness, he declared, "Bring her out and let her be burned." The hypocrisy was staggering. He could visit prostitutes, but she deserved death for her supposed immorality. But as they brought Tamar out for execution, she sent a message to Judah, "I am pregnant by the man who owns these." She produced his seal, cord, and staff. The moment of truth had arrived. Judah stood face to face with his own hypocrisy, his broken promises, and his injustice. In one of the Bible's most powerful acknowledgments of wrongdoing, he declared, "She is more righteous than I, because I did not give her to my son Shelah." Tamar gave birth to twins, Perez and Zerah. Through her courage and cunning, she secured not only her own future, but her place in history. Perez became an ancestor of King David and, ultimately, Jesus Christ. The woman everyone would have called shameful became a crucial link in the messianic lineage. Tamar's story reveals that sometimes justice requires unconventional action. When legal systems fail, when authorities abuse their power, and when society abandons the vulnerable, individuals must sometimes take extraordinary risks to claim what is right. Tamar's actions weren't pretty or conventional, but they were necessary and ultimately righteous. Her story also exposes the dangerous double standards that plague every generation, how those in power often excuse their own failings while condemning others for lesser offenses. Judah's humbling moment reminds us that true leadership requires honest self-examination and the courage to admit when we're wrong. Most importantly, Tamar shows us that God can use anyone, even those society deems scandalous, to accomplish his purposes. Sometimes the most unlikely people become the heroes of history. Tamar's tale isn't just ancient history. It's a timeless reminder that courage, justice, and truth will ultimately prevail, even when they come wrapped in controversy. In a world where the vulnerable are still forgotten and the powerful still abuse their authority, we need more people with Tamar's boldness to demand justice and her wisdom to fight for what's right. Her story proves that sometimes the most righteous person in the room is the one everyone else is ready to condemn. What other biblical heroes have been misunderstood by history? What other stories of courage and justice are waiting to be retold? Subscribe to discover more untold stories of biblical courage that will challenge everything you think you know about heroes, villains, and the complicated path to righteousness.